Just want to recap the session here and really kind of bring it all together and what you've learned so far. That was the first time we've really scrimmaged, so far at camp. And we're sitting here with Coach Miller and Coach Danowski, and we're watching both fields, and really, really pleased with some of the things that we saw. Who was the one that turned the corner there left-handed and scored? I mean, that was badass.
Big time, man.
That was tough.
Big time.
That was tough. So, Naz, we saw some great dodging from you in terms of your head was up, and then guys were cutting, and you see some guys like Jersey here. You guys are hooking up. You guys are getting used to playing with each other. Saw some great examples of guys dodging and men clearing out for them to have space to dodge. Saw some great follows. Colorado, where you at defensively? Great ground ball in the paint right here. And then you just kind of ran to space with it. Just a bunch of really, really good examples. Now, I just want to point out, fellas, when we teach, here at Duke, all coaches have different terminology in which we use. And the reason we have terms for everything, like just for example, talking about 4-on-3s offensively, some of the terms: follow the slide, up the hash, post up, snively, one more, all right, or defensively, point, hold, go, step to the hat. These are all terms that we use at Duke, or Coach Miller uses at St. John's, and what those are is just what you'd like to become, and that's difficult at camp, but just when you go back home, you would like to become a unit that all speaks the same language, right? So when you're talking to each other on the field, right, and you could say, hey, I was open on the up the hash, take a look there next time. Your teammate knows what you're talking about. Or if it's during a timeout, the coaches could say, hey, that up the hash was wide open, we got to take a look at that up the hash. Or your up the hash technique was not correct. You didn't really come up and throw your hips into it and shoot for the far pipe, all right? But at Duke, we, probably have nearly 100 terms or teaching points of emphasis that we use on a daily basis. And we have a coaching staff that's been together for 5 years now, right? And we have a certain way of doing things. We have older guys in our program that have heard that same terminology and ways of doing things. And it becomes a little bit easier every year in terms of everyone's on the same page. So now I would encourage you guys to think about that, right? And use that to your advantage while you're at camp. Take note of the terms that we're using when we do the master lessons, and then how we're going to continue to use those terms when we're playing. We want to apply them during drills and station work, and certainly when we do things live like we just did there today. Okay? But overall, we're seeing vast improvement, guys buying in, certainly to what we're trying to teach, right? I encourage Devin today, who's obviously a dominant left-handed player, okay? Put in your right hand at camp. There's no consequence. You're not going to be cut from a team, or your playing time is not going to be cut short from your mistakes at camp. But if you don't try here at camp, you're not going to get better at it. This is the place to do it. This is the place to do it. Okay, there's a lot of coaches, a lot of lacrosse balls, great facilities to do it. There's no reason. There's no reason not to put in your weak hand. There's no reason not to try something new while you're here. But overall, we're doing a really good job, and we're really pleased with the progress of this group. Anything else, coaches, that you've seen so far? All right, man, we're going to start to head back. Let's remember, attendance for you guys is coming quickly here, all right, for lunch. All right, so let's get back. What time's attendance, these young men?
It's 12:06 right now. All right, lunch attendance is at 12:45, and we'll be back out here, ready to go at 2:30 for the afternoon session. All right, so we got about 40 minutes from right now before lunch attendance. All right. A little slow out of the gates this morning. Much better at the end of the session. Let's make sure we're firing on all cylinders this afternoon. All right, let's go. Bring it up. Let's go.
Good job, Bob.
Let's go, let's go. Make sure you hydrate yourselves at lunch, all right?
A lot of water.
Run, hit, ride on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Run, hit, ride.